Before she became an autism advocate and mom of 4, Sheletta Brundage was an Emmy Award-winning comedian. Need something to put a smile in your face? Laughing with Letta is sure to tickle your funny bone. Check it out, but pee first and make sure you ain't drinking nothing when Sheletta's on a roll. That way you won't have anything to clean up when the podcast is over.
Welcome to Laughing with Letta. I'm your host, Sheletta Brundage. And before we get started, I have to let you know, Minneapolis holds a special place in entrepreneur and designer Houston White's heart. It's where he got his start. So whether it's launching the Get Down coffee company or his new Houston White for Target collection, I tell you, this brother is busy and he takes immense pride in giving back and inspiring those around him. I know I was at his golf tournament a couple of weeks ago and he handed over tens of thousands of dollars to people in need. And you can watch Houston discuss turning passion into reality and the importance of lifting the community on Target's exciting new series, Black Beyond, now playing on youtube.com/Target. And I have to tell y'all, my entire family is outfitted in the Houston White collection from Target. My ex-husband, Sean, got the hat and the shirts. The kiddos, Andrew's got the jacket. And it's something funny about the kids and weather. You know, when you turn 50, you check the weather and you dressed accordingly. But apparently when you are 15 and 16, you don't care what the temperature is. Because on the first day of school, my son was intent on wearing his Houston White for Target collection. So he wore the jacket and the shirt and the hat, and it was like 85 degrees. I almost had a heat stroke just looking at the boy. And he was just the toast of the town. And he was able to tell all his classmates and friends about how he met Houston White and shook his hand. And everybody was just so impressed. And I know Houston got some new fans after my son went to school on the first day over at Park High School in Cottage Grove and told all his friends about meeting Houston and then wearing the collection to school. Yeah, I think he's a pretty popular guy at this point. But y'all, I was so excited to partner with Xcel Energy. They had their big day of service project this past weekend and a couple of days last week. And it was a sight to behold. Almost 100 community service projects happening at the same time. Hundreds of Xcel Energy employees and retirees and members of the community coming out to volunteer to make a difference in the lives of others. Y'all know how important being out in the community is for me and my family, whether we are giving away Easter hams or during Easter season with our partners at Hy-Vee, or if we are going down to Uvalde to donate books to children who survived the school shooting, thanks to our partnership with General Mills and Children's Minnesota. It's all about giving back. And, a lot of people come to me and they say, well, Sheletta, how can I, make a difference? I don't even know where to start. I don't know how to begin. And so I was so excited to point them in the direction of Xcel Energy because they had done an excellent job at finding community partners and people who needed help and organizations that needed manpower and putting them in a clearinghouse. And pretty much doing all the work for you. And I know that is not an easy task. And people were able to go online and sign up and volunteer at the Sabathani Community Center. They were planting trees. They were packing lunches. They were cleaning up roadsides, volunteering to make a difference. People always say, well, this needs to change and that needs to change. And I'm tired of seeing all the negative stories on the news about the kids and the youth and gun violence. Well, guess what? Somebody's got to get over there and give them some hope. Somebody's got to get over there and get them some help. And I'm just so glad that the folks at Xcel Energy were able to do that. But I saw them out at open streets this weekend. I heard about them over at Sabathani and they were doing so many amazing things. And I was like, you know what? I got to get an update. I got to figure out what's going on, how things went, because, a lot of times you talk about these events, you build up to them, and then they happen and you just don't come back to them to say, how did it go? Who do we help? How were people impacted? and I needed to do that. I need some closure on this thing. So I invited Brett Carter to the podcast. He is the Executive Vice President and Group President, Utilities and Chief Customer Officer at Xcel, and he is joining us on Laughing with Letta right now. Brett, I so appreciate you being here. We talked like for a hot minute on the radio
That's
the
right.
other day, but I needed a longer, lengthy conversation because I want to know how everything went. Y'all had 4 days where
Yes.
you had the entire Twin Cities community come out and volunteer at nearly 100 places that you guys had put together, organized, figured out what all these people needed. I just can't imagine and believe that y'all are able to put something like your crew is amazing. Your crew, the people who did all this, they deserve a lot of applause for putting this together.
Now, I'm with you on that one. Without our employees, none of this would have happened. And I wish I would have been able to spend a little bit more time with you on Friday. But, I was rushing out to get to my day of service activity. And then on Saturday, what was really cool is we actually took job applications for people that wanted to apply for jobs right here at Xcel Energy. That's when you're making a difference, because we had young men and women from the community signing up for our training programs. You do not need a college education for this. These are great paying jobs with great benefits, and we want to look more like our community. So we were out there taking applications, and we have 14 young men and women in our program right from that community. Love Sabathani, by the way. You can't beat a better location and a better organization for helping out. But that was mine. So I'm being a little selfish there. Let everybody share our volunteers distributed over 150 produce boxes with the Latino Economic Development Center. We planted over 100 trees at Xcel Energy Field Park, and our volunteers packed over 408 backpacks. You wanted to talk a little bit about what we accomplished. We had 211 supply boxes for our teachers and students. It was just we were just doing.
Y'all were all over the place. Y'all were all over the place. And I just love seeing it. I was talking to Sabathani on my radio show Saturday when I was live out at the open streets, and that's what he was saying. He said, they're filling out applications. I said, what? No, they supposed to be planting trees. What you talking about? They filling out. He's like, no, they're here. Like, they're taking applications. I mean, so it's not just about planting trees, but it's about planting people into opportunities that they never would have otherwise have, and that not only impacts that person, it impacts their family, that impacts their community. So talk to me about how we go from packing lunches to offering jobs. Y'all just took it up to the next level over at Xcel Energy.
Well, what's funny about it is, giving back takes a lot of different ways to actually impact people. And Sabathani said, we say, hey, what do you need? What do you want? What do you want us to do? What do you need? Because we're already working with them on creating a safe haven in the community at the at the Sabathani Community Center. So we're going to make it resilient so that even if the power goes out, if it's ever out for any period of time, people can go there and they'll always have power. We're going to put battery backup. We're going to put solar power there. But we said, hey, what do you want for our day of giving? What do you want us to do? Our day of service? And they basically said, can you help with jobs in the community? And we said, wow, we've never done that before.
Yeah.
But Sheletta, if the community is asking for it, and we have the opportunities, this is a great way for us to shake hands with the community and say, if you want jobs, then we've got them. Let's marry those two ideas together. We were overwhelmed with the number of volunteers that wanted to come and be at Sabathani to do the interview process and explain the jobs. And these are, like I said, you said it, not me. These are life-changing jobs.
Oh, yeah. You got folks who are working part-time at the grocery store who got laid off because of COVID. The positions were eliminated. I got some folks I know who were working for other opportunities and places, and they were like, this job is going to be gone in December. I'm like, you better get over to Sabathani because there's a job for you. And, I need you to talk to me about listening. Because a lot of times when people have a day of service, they say, we're going to plant 500 trees. We're going to give out 100 lunch boxes. This is what we're going to do. This is all we're going to do. Why was it important for Xcel Energy to say, what do you need? And then meet that need, to change course, to change direction.
It's a beautiful thing. You know, one of the things that we learned, and I'm gonna bring up the murdering of George Floyd as an example. You know, a lot of times people want to react and they just want to give what they think people need in the community. What we learned coming through that is that, you know, sometimes you have to listen and you have to hear what people are feeling. You have to know where people are in the community. And we decided that, yeah, we want to absolutely remove the invasive brush at the Prairie Island Indian community. And we want to assemble the handbags at the Latino Economic Development Center. But we want to continue to evolve and grow this opportunity for us to give back. And the community right there at Sabathani Community Center was saying, hey, you know what? We really love the fact that you're here to help us paint and repair our facility. We do a lot of that with Habitat for Humanity as well. But they said, we want something different this year from Xcel. And we want to make it so that our community knows that you want us to be a part of your company as well. And we said, well, that's a fact. We want this community to be a part of Xcel Energy in an employment arrangement. And so when the Xcel team took that, and I got to give full credit to the Xcel team for listening and actually taking action, that's exactly what we wanted to do. If we're not listening, we're not going to be effective at delivering what we need to. That's a fact.
And this is the thing. A lot of times companies come out and they just want to give and they want to go away. You know, and the people are still hungry the next day, or they still don't have a job the next day, or they still don't have those opportunities the next day. Talk to me about the value that you put into that community when you say, not only do we want to give and help, but we want you to be a part of our team.
Well, think about it like this. So I remember when I grew up in the inner city in Pittsburgh. And I remember when I started working in the company right there. It was a People's Natural Gas company. It was an energy company right downtown. And when I started to volunteer, I wanted to go back and I wanted to volunteer in the areas where I knew I was familiar with, and I wanted to give back in that community. Imagine now that we're hiring people from that community, what they want to do to help other people. The domino effect continues on. And that's what we really need. We need people from the community saying, I want to go back to my community and help other people. I want to be able to pay it forward. And that's where you get the real effect of paying it forward, not just once, but it becomes generational. Yeah. And so for us, I think you asked a perfect question. For us, that means it's not just, you know, giving someone a plate, it's teaching them to fish so that they can continue to go back, pull people out of that community that comes to work for Xcel Energy, and they become a part of the cycle of that day of service and that giving.
Okay, now you had 4 days, had the day of service all around town. All you saw were the Xcel Energy shirts, the Xcel Energy employees, the shovels, the trees, the lunches, you guys were interviewing, you were putting together the gift bags, you were giving people hope and opportunity. Talk to me about what success looks like. Do you feel like this event was a success? If so, what were some of those markers that you met?
Yeah, that is a great question. And Sheletta, I'll say this much. Our employees come back so energized. You ever just really take a step back after you've done something that you know is right, and how that makes you feel inside? I mean, sometimes you're helping people that you'll never get a chance to meet. And it's the same thing. We're launching our United Way program this week, and we call it our giving campaign. To the community, and they're helping people that they'll never meet. They don't know who these people are, but it feels good. If you're blessed enough, if you are blessed enough to actually contribute to something that's bigger than our employees are charged up. This is something that's bigger than the work that they do on our system. And so we win when our employees feel like they've won. And we win when our community feels like we've given them a contribution that they otherwise would not have had a chance to get. So it's always winning when you're giving. I'm going to tell you, my whole life is based on that. I mean, I know I wouldn't be where I am today if I wasn't giving back so much. And I really do believe that I've gotten what I've given, I've gotten back 100, 200, 1,000 fold. So it's important for our employees to be engaged, feel great about what they're doing in the community, and to continue to give back. This is just the one big day that we do it. But through the year, we give them time off. We pay them with time off to go and contribute in the community all year round. So this is a part of our culture. This is a part of who we are.
Well, I'm glad that you all are a part of our community, Brett. Thank you so much for this day of service, for what you're doing for people in our community. And God bless everybody over at Xcel Energy for the work that you do.
That was a beautiful close. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Wow.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk soon.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
All right. And you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us on Laughing with Letta. Be sure to tune in next week. Tell your friends and your co-workers, your neighbors all about this show, because we have some amazing guests. We talk about some amazing topics. And one thing that we are always going to do is get our laugh on. See y'all next week.
That girl is crazy in a good way. To check out previous episodes, log on to her website, SheLettaMakesMeLaugh.com. You can also check out where she's appearing next and score cool merch.
Get fast, reliable internet for any budget. Now qualifying customers can get Xfinity Internet free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's right, free high-speed internet from Xfinity. And Internet Essentials customers can get equipment included at no extra cost. Get started today.
At Hy-Vee, we take pride in being part of the communities we serve. In 2021, we donated more than 14 million meals, and this year, we're committed to doing even more. For over 90 years, we've been the place that people turn in time of need, and we take that very seriously. That's why we're loading our semis full of food this week and making deliveries across the Midwest to help families this Easter. To join our effort, simply donate when you're at the checkout. Together, we can make a big difference for those in need.
All right, did you know I was the Mommy Slam Dunk Champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, go to left, fake them out. Mama, go up, mama!
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.
When my daughter was first diagnosed with autism, I didn't know what to do because I knew she qualified for services and resources for people with disabilities. But trying to figure out how to manage everything was overwhelming. So I turned to the folks at Accra Home Care for help, because for 30 years, they've helped families like mine and provided self-guided personal care assistance services and financial management assistance for their developmentally delayed and elderly loved ones. The folks at Accra helped us get a fence so my daughter could play outside in the backyard safely, and even showed me how to use the resources to get a trampoline. And that's just a couple of the things that Accra Home Care does. Whether it's assisted living, mental health, or home health care, they've got you covered. Accra will make sure your loved ones who need services actually get it. Go to their website at acrahomecare.org or give them a call at 952-935-3515.